Nothing hurts my eyes and ears more than a stock exhaust on a nice new Harley-Davidson. And I think before you even put gas in your Harley for the first time, you better be pulling this thing off the bike, because life is too short to ride a quiet, stock-piped Harley. So today, we are going to be installing a 2-in-1 exhaust on this 2024 Harley-Davidson Street Glide. This process is going to look pretty similar between all the touring bikes and will look pretty similar depending on the 2-in-1 exhaust you're choosing, but for this video specifically, we'll be doing the SP Concepts Big Bore 2-in-1 exhaust. Why would you go to replace your exhaust? It'll make the bike sound so much better, it'll open up the bike to breathe more, and it'll open up some further performance upgrades that you can do down the line. Now we'll link all the tools in the description of this video that you'll need to get this done, but we're going to get started with our first step, which is removing the side bags from this motorcycle. So to start removing our stock exhaust, I like to break it out into sections, and I'm going to start with the left side since we won't be reusing anything on the left side for a 2-in-1 exhaust. We're going to start with the left muffler, which you're going to need a 1/2-inch socket and a 9/16-inch socket to remove. When you go to shimmy this off, it will take some work. There is not much clearance up and down, so I suggest just shimmying side to side to free up the pipe to get it sliding off. Also, if you want to make some extra room, you can take out that top metal bracket that we unhooked the 1/2-inch bolts from. Next, we're going to remove the cross pipe. And to do that, we need to access a single bolt in the middle of the bike, which is a 9/16, undo that, which will unhook our bracket, and then go to the clamp up to the side of the cross pipe on the right side and loosen that one up. From there, we can just shimmy it off like we did our muffler. Once we get to the right side of the bike, I actually like to go and remove the right floorboard first, since I know where it's going to need to come off, and I'll just have it done and out of the way as we work our way up there. That will be with a 5/16-inch Allen. We're going to go ahead and remove the right rear muffler, which is going to be exactly the same as we did on the left, except this one is called out as a 5/8-inch socket on the clamp bolt. But I found that a 5/8 was just a bit too big, and a 9/16 won't actually fit on there. So the best fitting socket was a 15mm, strangely enough, but just to prevent stripping, we wound up going with a 15mm. Now we're going to get all sorts of handprints all over this thing. Nice and slow at the end. Whip. I also like to take all the components that go with the mounting of the mufflers and screw them back into place so that they're always with the part should I decide to put it back on the bike or if I want to sell it later on. Save your stuff. Now we're going to remove the heat shields, and this is either going to be a flathead screwdriver or I prefer using a 5/16 socket. Sometimes some of these will be easier to get with a little extender on your ratchet, and sometimes it'll be easier just to do it without an extension. So whatever per bolt makes sense to you, go ahead and do that. So we have removed pretty much everything that we need to get our exhaust physically off of this bike. But there are a few things left that we have to do. The first being is you noticed I took this side cover off earlier. This is giving us access to our plugs for our O2 sensors. Now these are important because we're going to have to unhook them, and these plugs actually lead wires all the way up to what you'll see here in the back of this pipe, and there's another one located down here, and they are specific to each header, this black one being for the rear and the lighter gray being up front. Important to remember for later, but they're different lengths, so it's pretty easy to tell. Longer one travels a further distance. Last thing to mention here is that we have actually removed this pipe from this bike before, so there are some zip ties when you go into your bike for the first time that'll be routing these wires around that you'll have to cut. They're already cut because we've removed this, but what we're going to do is unplug this, reroute the wires so that they're free and ready to remove with the pipe when we go to pull it. Next, you'll notice that I removed the hardware from this clamp down here, but the clamp didn't go anywhere. That's okay. As soon as this comes free and we start lifting, this will free itself up. The only thing left to do to remove these pipes from the bike is remove 4 flange nuts. They are located right up at the head here, and 3 of the 4 are pretty easy to access with a standard socket. They're going to be a 1/2-inch, but the last one, which is located right up front here, you cannot fit a socket in here. I know some people have used swivel sockets if they're small enough and you can sneak it in there and get that done. I don't have one of those in a small enough size. So what we're gonna do is take this radiator slash cable guard off, and it's gonna give us the space to sneak a 1/2-inch standard wrench in here and get this last one loose. So an important thing to note before going to remove these flange nuts is that this bike is pretty new, so I'm not worried about them coming off pretty easily. But if you have an older bike, and especially one that's been beat on, I would highly recommend hitting it with some PB Blaster before you go to attempt it, because there is a possibility that this nut could have seized to the bolt, which is in the head itself. If the nut pulls the bolt out of the head, that's not a huge deal. What's a big problem is if you snap the bolt itself trying to remove it from it being seized, because then you're gonna have to weld something on to extract it, and it becomes a huge headache. So to spare yourself the trouble, just be safe, put a little PB Blaster on, loosen it up. I pulled this exhaust off like within a week, so I'm not too concerned about it. So the next bolt that we have to get to is way up in here, which brings me to an important point I forgot to mention earlier, is extenders will save you here. Once everything's good to go and loose, our O2 sensor cables are out of the way, we're gonna be able to lift this whole thing up and just carefully guide it off so that we don't damage or scratch our engine fins. And then we're ready to start installing our new stuff, the exciting part. So you'll notice I was removing the old exhaust gaskets, which for me is a non-negotiable whenever you're changing out exhausts. So I have 2 new fresh ones for our new pipe. But from here, what we're gonna do is take our old flanges off of our pipe to reuse on our new one. And to do that, we're gonna have to remove the retaining clips. This is more optional, and if you have a newer bike, you should be okay reusing the retaining clips, but they're cheap enough where I like to replace them every time I do it anyway. Once we get our old flanges off, we are then going to take our OEM O2 sensors, since we plan on reusing them for this pipe. Oddly enough, to get the O2 sensors off, it is a 17mm wrench. So now that everything is off our stock exhaust, what we're gonna do from here is prep our new headers to go onto the bike. Now there are a few things to discuss before we get into this. First off being that this specific black onyx finish on this pipe is incredibly prone to scratching. So to prevent as much scratching as possible, I'm gonna protect the outside of the pipe where I'm gonna be working with some painter's tape, and that should help out to prevent scratching. Next, we are going to be reusing our stock narrowband O2 sensors. These pipes are fitted to accommodate the wideband O2 sensors. So to accommodate, they also provide an adapter with a crush washer, which we are gonna get installed on here first. We are gonna put some anti-seize because this is gonna go through quite a bit of a heat cycle. That's going to be a 22mm wrench. There are 2 different length O2 sensor wires, as you might have seen pulling off the pipe, and these are specific to the header that they go on. So you have to make sure they go on the right one. Easy way to determine which one goes where is the shorter wire is going to go to the back pipe since it has less distance to travel, and the longer wire goes up to the front header. Lastly, an important thing to note as far as getting flanges on the new headers goes is these are directional. So you'll notice there is a little bit of a cutout on one side and the other side is flat. This cutout here, this indent, is actually to house this retaining clip. So this faces towards the motor, and as you go to put them on your header, the flat side is going to be what scoops in and onto the header. For getting the retaining rings on, there are a few ways that you can do this. I think the easiest way is take a pair of pliers and just really pull over the lip that you need. Before we go to get the muffler onto the bike, it's nice to have these clips slid over onto their bracket for the muffler. When you do go to slide them on, make sure the threading area is facing in towards the muffler so that when you put the bolts onto your bracket, they are facing the right direction so the bolt can thread into place. Lastly, before we go and start getting our pipe onto the bike, we need to replace our exhaust gaskets that I took out earlier with a pick. You saw the ones I pulled out earlier were all deformed, both from heat cycles and getting the old exhaust on and off. Everything is prepped as far as our new pipe goes, so we're ready to start putting it on the bike. And there's a specific order we're gonna do this in. Starting with the headers. We're gonna get the headers put up and loosely tight with the flanges and their nut down. You can do either header first, doesn't matter. We're gonna get the 2 headers on loosely, get the O2 sensor wires routed back to where they're going. Then there's actually a bracket that comes with our exhaust, which is going to be what holds the muffler and the weight of the back of the pipe to the bike. There's only one place this can go if you look at it. There's no instructions included with this, but if you hold it up, it just perfectly matches to these transmission cover bolts. Those are a 1/4 inch Allen, so we're gonna take those off. Important to know when putting this on, we are replacing the OEM hardware that came out of this cover here. SP gives us new hardware to accommodate for the extra distance needed to get this bracket on there. I'm gonna put them on hand tight right now, but when I do go to finally tighten them down, make sure to use your service manual to get your torque spec. I'm also gonna blue Loctite these. Lastly, these are not the Allen that we just used. These are switching to a 1/2 inch socket. Whole system is gonna go together hand tight, make sure it's sitting where it wants to. Like, we can move this quite a bit, and it's important to be able to do that because getting this bracket lined up with the muffler in the back here is going to be the trickiest part of this whole thing. From here now, I'm going to take my spring puller and my springs, get these all routed and in place. We're going to tighten this one down first, get that nice and tight, tighten our flanges in a circular pattern to get everything done evenly. And then after that, finally, we are just going to take the hand tight bolts out from our bracket itself, Loctite them, get them torqued to spec, and this thing is on the bike. And then we can just start reassembling everything from there, like the floorboard, side cover, bags. So our bike is assembled and back together. This exhaust looks great. I cannot wait to hear it. But before I get to hear it, make sure, this goes for all of you, wipe it down the very best you can. I mean, any bit of smudge, fingerprint, tape, no matter what, get it off there, because the second this thing starts and gets hot, it's getting baked on there forever. So that is a huge, crucial step. I know how excited you are. I know how excited I am to hear it. Make sure that gets done. All in all, this probably could take you about an hour or so if you are familiar and have done exhaust before. If this is your first time taking on this job, I would give yourself 2 to 3 hours. Just make sure it goes smoothly, do it well, don't wrestle with it. Pretty easy job. Honestly, I think almost anybody could do this. I think anybody that owns a Harley should do this. Once again, I can't wait to hear it. But if you have any further questions or you just want to find out some more about how exhausts go on these bikes, what other options there are for you, go ahead and click the link, which will bring you to our product detail page. You can see what other riders are saying about the SP Concepts big bore exhaust or other 2-in-1 exhausts for big M8 baggers. If you have any further questions, go ahead and give our customer service team a call. They're all riders just like you, and they'd be happy to help you get set up for a better sounding motorcycle. Now, thanks for joining me in getting this new exhaust installed on our Street Glide today. I'm Ewan, and I'll see you out there.